You have to buckle up for Turbado's story. He's a wonderful artist and an extreme performer, a great writer and oral storyteller. He's an artist on so many levels, and this story really brings him to a new level. We know you'll enjoy it. Here's Turbado Marabou.
Again, my name is Turbado, and have you guys ever been in a situation where you walk in or you go to with the full intention of doing one thing and wind up doing something you did not expect to do, and it changed your life forever? Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. One person, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you this story, and it was a life-changing experience for me, and I wasn't expecting it. So I really want you to picture right now the Milky Way. Now raise your hand if you've ever seen the Milky Way. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So thick, isn't it? So many stars. No lights, no city, right? You see. And so there I was on a hill. And I'm looking around, and there's a full moon. There's the Milky Way, and I'm seeing prairie as far as the eye could see. It's nighttime, it's quiet, and it's just me. I hear coyotes in the distance. I'm glad someone told me that they were coyotes before I got on that hill. And you would hear the others answer in the distance. At that time, I was really hoping that situation, that they didn't get closer. And as this was all going on, you realize how small you are in the universe and how connected. But a little voice kept saying to me, how in the hell did you get up on that hill? Let me tell you the story. So I just moved to Chicago from Wisconsin. University of Wisconsin-Madison, that is. It's a very special place. I got my MFA from printmaking, and it is one of the most unique places that anybody could ever experience. I come from an HBCU, that's a historically black university, to historically white university. And I apologize right now for all of the people that mistaken me for somebody else, another black person, because in Wisconsin, I did that. And it's real, guys. It's very much real. I'm sorry. I apologize to all the people that I got mad at because you were right and I was wrong, okay? My roommate came right up to me and said, he gave me this look like, and I'm looking like, what do you want? Who are you? He's like, you don't know who I am, do you? I was like, yes, I do. I do. Damn. Anyway, Wisconsin is also known for politics, but especially known for spirituality. A lot of people don't realize that. There are pyramids in the bottom of Lake Winona. And so there's a lot of esoteric, a lot of metaphysics. I was getting into that stuff when I was in school. And so I moved to Chicago. And when I moved to Chicago, I started doing murals, and I started getting into the artistic community, but also the spiritual community as well. And I found some like minds, and I was very happy about that because I was searching for myself. I was finding who I really was. And so I had met some people, and there were three sisters three lovely ladies that I really enjoyed hanging out with. And so one day, one of them called me up and said, "Brother, you got some time next week?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I got some time, not a problem. We need you to drive us to South Dakota." Okay. I don't have anything to do, and I really did. I didn't have anything to do at that time. I had just finished a project, and I had money, so it was perfect. Sure, I'd never been to South Dakota. Okay, well, where are you going? Okay, so what you're going to need some white shorts. You're going to need some canned goods. You're going to need some toilet paper, and you're going to. Do you have a tent? No. Oh, that's okay. We got one for you. Now you don't have to worry about money, and you don't have to worry about paying for gas. Just get us there. Can you do that? Yeah. What are we going there for? Click. So okay. So she called back. We didn't have cell phones back then. So she called back. "Oh, can you come over here day after tomorrow? Because we got to make sure you have everything in place." Okay, fine. She seemed a little irritable, and you know, as things unfolded, I understood why. So I went over there, and everything was stacked up in a order, but everything, there was a lot of stuff going on. There was food, there was dry goods, there was meats, there was toys, there were clothes, there were a lot of different items, and then there were tents, and then there was other things going on in the corner. I'm looking around trying to figure out, and these ladies are going back and forth, moving around, and I'm like, okay, are you guys going on a food drive in South Dakota? Now, they all stopped and looked at me, and they all gave that look. I grew up in a house of women. And so if you're in the South, you understand when they give you that look, like that means you're supposed to stop what you're talking about, shut up, go in the corner, and wait for further instructions. And I did. And so I couldn't help but notice that over in the corner, there were these sticks. And they were about a yard, like that. Okay. But there were 4 of them. And each one of them had these little bundles. And as I got closer, I noticed there was a tobacco smell. And so I looked and I was like, well, what are these over here? And they gave me that look again. And I sat back down. But one of them took pity on me and said, look, you know what these are? These are prayer ties. I said prayer ties, and they're still not answering my question. What are these prayer? What are these? What are these? And I kept trying to prod, and finally she told me, we are doing a vision quest, brother. We're doing a vision quest, and we are going to a hembleche. And I was like, oh, I'm waiting. So let me tell you what an hembleche is. An hembleche is a vision quest and is a rites of passage for warriors of the Lakota Nation. It is an ancient ritual that requires an elder or elders to choose a hill, and you will go on that hill. You will go on the hill with those prayer ties. And there are 4 types. There's black, there's red, there's yellow, and there's white. Each one of those representing the 4 races of the world. And there are 100 little bundles of tobacco, because tobacco is sacred amongst the Lakota. And you say a prayer for each one of those. You say a prayer for someone else. 100 prayers for the black race, 100 prayers for the red, 100 prayers for the yellow race, 100 prayers for the white race, for unity and love on the planet. Beautiful. Now, when you go up on that hill, All you have as a warrior is a loincloth, a blanket, a knife, and a feather. No water, no food, no toilet paper, nothing but those prayer ties and your heart, because you're looking for a vision. And you're going to ask the universe and ask the Creator for that vision, to find out your purpose in life, to find out what are you here for. Now, that being said and explained to me, I clearly looked in that lady's eyes and said, wow, that's really interesting. Is that what you guys are going to be doing? She said, yes. Would you like to participate as well? And I looked right back at her, seriously as I possibly could, and said, hell no. No food, no water, no toilet paper? Y'all crazy. But I'll drive you. And one of the ladies, I knew, she always managed to find a really good weed. So, hey, even swap ain't no swindle. So we went, 12 hours, 12 hours. Now, little did I know, 12 hours with women who had fasted and prepared themselves for this for 30 days. 30 days they have fasted. They have saged every day. They saged out of everything. That in itself was a rites of passage, believe me. But I made it. And we went to the Lakota Reservation, Rosebud and Pine Ridge Reservation, one of the largest reservations in South Dakota. And there, when we finally got there, out of the house came the spiritual man and the medicine man. The spiritual man, who was in charge of the ceremony, was named Willard Foolbull. He was a great-great-grandson, or great-great-great-great-grandson, of Chief Foolbull, the man who fought against one of the men, famous leaders who fought against Custer himself. Yes, right? Wow. And he looked at me, and everyone was coming out and greeting us. I felt very warm, very accepted, and we were all introducing ourselves. I said, hi, my name is Turbado. I'm the driver. And Willard gave me this look. That uncomfortable stare that with no reaction, there was something that he saw. I don't know if he was just irritated by the fact that I introduced myself as just the driver, but again, it'll all reveal itself. So we're sitting down, we're all eating. Now, little did I know, the ceremony had actually already begun. Because part of the ceremony is that you have to go through and answer the question of why do you want to go on the vision quest? And he had asked. And there were other people that had come, actually. It was a very large table, and we were all there. And food had been cooked, and I was having a good time. His wife had cooked an excellent chicken, and I was enjoying it. And he had asked, unbeknownst to me, just about everybody. But I wasn't really paying much attention because I wasn't going on the vision quest. I was the driver, and I was good with that. All of a sudden, I hear, ho! And I look up, and I drop my chicken, and there is Willard staring at me. Thunder. He called me Thunder. And I looked at him because guess what? Turbado means the storm. Okay, right? How do you know that? He looked at me again. That same stare when I introduced myself as a driver. Thunder. You going on the hill? I said, yes. And even the ladies that came with me kind of looked at me like, what? I realize now that it was my higher self speaking that time, not regular Turbado. Higher Turbado said, yes, we are going on that hill. But regular Turbado kicked back in and said, think fast, think fast, think fast. I don't have any prayer ties. Yeah, I don't have any prayer ties. That's right. No prayer ties, no hembleche. Sorry, Willard. But I'm here to support these ladies. Ladies, go forth. Willard looked at me again. Oh, don't worry. We have prayer ties for you. Someone left for an emergency, and they couldn't go on the hembleche. You can go. Everyone started to cheer and hug me. I didn't know why. I didn't want to go. But there I was the next morning with my prayer ties and my white shorts and my white shirt, looking like, how the hell did I get here? So we went into the sweat lodge. Has anybody ever been in the sweat lodge before? There we go. Okay, one person. Good. All right. Two. Man. All right. Awesome. So you know how hot that, okay? Hot. Now, it was about 12 by 12. You could fit comfortably about 10 to 15 people. There were 30 people in there. Yeah, right? And so we're all in here, and I'm not really quite know what it's about to happen. The stones, and they bring these big stones, this big, into the sweat lodge, into this hole. And Willard was very kind to say, explain the fact that the hole represents the center of the earth, and that the sweat lodge itself is like the womb. And you're going to go through a rebirth, he said. You're going to be reborn. Now you're going to pray, he said. You pray loud, but you cannot pray for yourself. You pray for someone else. You pray hard, you hear? If you don't, you're going to get burned. I was like, what are you talking about? You're going to get burned. You know, I mean, the stone's right there. And all of a sudden, he took this water and he screamed, swoosh, water on the stone, and the steam came flinging past my ears. I started praying for everybody I could think of. I prayed for my mother and father that had passed. I prayed for my cousins that I hated. I didn't care. I was going to pray for them anyway. I prayed for Walter Cronkite. I prayed for Hunchback from New Jersey. I prayed for three-legged dogs. I prayed for the cockroaches I always killed. I didn't care. I just kept praying. It was so hot. But I made it. And do you know, I did not get burned. From that point on, we had to go up on the hill and not speak anymore. At that moment, two of the women pulled Willard's wife on the side and whispered to her. She went to Willard. Oh, you can't go. Their moon had come on. Now, I'm not into that. Just to let you know, that's not a big deal for me. But for them, it was. These women had fasted for 30 days, and they could not go on their quest. But here I was, full of hamburger, full of chicken, had not fasted, didn't care about sage, and there I was. So we're on the hill. Willard looked at me as he had put all the prayer ties around me, and I was in the center. You're going to have visions 4 days worth in one night. I couldn't speak. What I wanted to say, what? What? What did you say? Wait. Couldn't say anything. They prayed. They got back in the truck and drove away. But they promised they would always be praying They would be singing, they would be praying the entire time. I believed them. As the sun started setting, I looked over and I saw a mountain. That mountain wasn't there before. At least I thought it wasn't. I thought maybe it was like a city, but there was no city lights. And I kept looking because the mountain kept getting brighter. And I started to see clouds. You know, like in the Steven Spielberg movies where all of a sudden the clouds start rolling, the cold front cut rolling through, right? That happened. And lightning and thunder. And I kept thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get so wet. But that didn't happen. The clouds went around me. I'm not kidding you. They went around me. And they encircled me. And I started seeing lights, orbs. And I said, okay, here we go. Alien abduction. I'm done. That didn't happen. But I kept seeing the lights. And then I saw little lights starting to appear in front of me. And I'm looking, and I'm starting to grab. Now, just keep in mind, as a side note, they had offered me peyote before. Thank God I didn't take it. I was doing just fine all by myself. Lights started moving through, and I saw faces, little faces. I'm like, oh, man, this is deep. Oh, my God, would you look at this? I'm looking around, and I'm seeing other things, walking. Electrical people walking around. The thing about it is, though, the cold started setting in. No one told me that it went from 90 degrees in July to 45 at night. And I started to shiver. And I felt myself go into a deeper place. At first, it seemed just to get warm. But then I started to see things, people I had never seen before, people I had known, scenarios, and there was emotions tied to it. I felt like I was right there, right in the moment, and then I'd wake up, and I'd start shivering again. I kept having these visions. You see, my third eye was opening. I was gaining clairvoyancy. I didn't know it, but it was happening. Then I heard cows. Yeah, cows. They were right down the bottom of the hill. I found it kind of comforting, actually. But after a while, I noticed they were talking to me. Turbado. What are you doing up there? That went on for about 5 minutes. And finally I stood up and said, I don't know. Could you tell me? Cows have a sense of humor. They started laughing at me. It's interesting. I saw ancestors. I saw people drumming. I saw many things that night. I finally passed out. And when I woke up and saw the sunlight, I never saw a more beautiful sunrise. They picked me up finally at the end of the day. I still couldn't speak. And the only time I was allowed to speak was when we went back into the sweat lodge. And I described exactly what happened. And everybody that was in there confirmed it. The little lights were the Yuwipi people, little people. And they come to you in lights. They like to take things and bring them back. Has that ever happened to you when something disappears in your house And then all of a sudden they wind up somewhere else that you didn't know you know you didn't put it there, right? That's still your weepy people. Then the lights in the sky, they were the thunder people, riding thunderbirds. And only true warriors have the honor of having them actually coming and blessing you. Me. That's right. But seriously, I was honored and humbled. And to this day, I never really stopped my journey. I'm now a priest of African spirituality. I've seen many things. I've done things that if I told you those stories, you probably wouldn't believe them. But you only really understand them when it happens to you. But I'll give you this advice before I go. The very road that you take to avoid your destiny is the road that leads you right back to it. Tell your story, y'all. Thank you.